Do you recognize this berm? Well, it's on the world famous A-line here in Whistler. It's also home to the Fox Air DH downhill track that's just taken place. There's massive features on it, including berms, rollers, jumps, and we're going to watch some of the world's best riders and see how they evaluate the sections and what method is quicker, whether they scrub it, jump it, or even pump it. This jump right here is actually a lot bigger than it looks. What you can't see is the landing fades all the way down the hill into the next section. It's probably a good 35, almost even 40 foot. And you've seen the riders coming absolutely pinning down this section. And you can see them really pushing the bike over just to scrub off and squash the jump as much as they can to get into the landing and hold their speed into the next section. Let's find out, do they squash it or do they scrub it?
Squashing means absorbing the jump with your body and throwing the bike down into the landing. Scrubbing, you turn up the lip, offsetting the G-force the jump produces, letting the suspension compress and decompress once airborne. This is often used in motocross and is seen as the fastest way to jump. There is almost nothing in this section, but it's the very slightest of differences that all add up. Brooke McDonald's scrub versus Mick Hanna's squash is a close one, but it looks like Mick gets the edge over Brooke, dropping the bike in just ever so slightly sooner. Greg Williamson scrubs it hard and takes the edge over Connor Fearon, not by much but enough to convincingly outdo Fearon. Comparing Greg Williamson with Adam Brayton, who both scrub but from the opposite sides of the takeoff, Adam pushes down earlier, finding the landing a little bit easier than Greg. Then there is Loic Bruni, who when watching came into it considerably faster but never managed to land it. Thankfully, he was okay, but it just goes to show the risk riders are willing to commit when racing.
This jump might look a little bit mellow, but it's pretty big, and when you're hitting it really fast, you can go so far off it. We're seeing riders using this side of the landing to scrub it, and this side to actually squash it. So, what was faster? Let's take a look.
Mark Wallace takes a slightly different line compared to Marcelo Gutierrez. Here, by riding up the higher takeoff of the jump and scrubbing, launching it further, it's clear to see Marcelo really pushing that bike down and coming in lower, nailing the downslope. Comparing Rory Cunningham, who scrubs, and Laurie Greenland squashing it, Laurie has the slightest of upper hands, meaning that squashing this jump is faster.
This section right here, the riders were coming out the berm really hot. There was a series of pumps that they had to work their way through. Some were manualing, some were doubling, and some were just pumping all the way through them.
The big comparison comes in the first jump. Sam Blenkinsop manuals through before jumping the middle double and pumping the final roller. Compared to Jack's pumping through is considerably slower into the next section. It's precious seconds like these that all add up.
So, there you go. Which do you think was the coolest? Which was the fastest? Let us know in the comment sections down below. And whilst you're here, why don't you watch some videos from JMBN about jumping? If you click just down there, you're going to get to common jumping mistakes. And if you click down there, you're going to get to how to whip like a pro with Brendan Fairclough. Click on the globe to subscribe and you get a great video every day of the week.